Hi there, Chrissie. Welcome to your own personalised maths lesson. Let's have a go at a starter, shall we? So in your rough book or on a spare piece of paper, whatever you have to hand, please pause the video for about 10 minutes and have a go at as many of these questions as you can. 1 to 10 are numeracy based questions, 11 to 15 are algebra, and then there's an extension question to have a go at. So pause the video for 10 minutes and have a go at as many of these questions as you can. I don't expect you to finish them all, but give it a good try. Off you go. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at some of those questions. I'll just run through the answers with you. So a column addition for the first one would give you 200, and a column subtraction for the second one will give you 67. 32 times 4 will give you 128. A bus stop for the next one will give you 1880.75. For the next one, I've got subtract -2, and when we've got two negatives in a row, that becomes a positive. So I've now got -3 plus 2, and -3 plus 2 will give you -1. For the next one, we need to apply BIDMAS, so I need to do my bracket first. 4 subtract 2 gives me 2. I then know that multiplication and division are at the same level in order. So once I've got 2, I then need to do the calculation in order. So 2 times 2 gives me 4, and 4 divided by 2 will give me 2. For the next one, this is your standard form. 10 to the -2 means that I need to move both those digits 2 places in the place value table to get smaller and give me 0.53. 4 to the power of a half, well, a power of a half actually means the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. 4/7 divided by 2/3, we apply our keep, flip, change, so we keep our first fraction, flip the second one, and then multiply, and in doing that, that gives us 12/14, which you can simplify to 6/7. And increasing 200 by a half, well, half of 200 is 100, and if we increase it, that gives us 300. So adding on the 100. Simplifying 7d times e becomes 7de. We don't need the multiply in there. If 2x is equal to -14, if I divide both sides of that equation by 2, I get x is equal to -7. Expanding that bracket, 2 times 3 gives me 6x, and then 2 times 2 gives me 4. If x is -2, 3 lots of x is -6, and factorising this expression just means putting it into a bracket. I put a 2 on the outside and I put x take away 2 in the middle. My extension question asked, the time in Rio is 3 hours behind London, the time in New York is 5 hours behind London. What is the time in New York when it's 1 a.m. in Rio? So I'm at 1 a.m, I go 3 hours before, and then 3 hours, and then 5 hours again, and that gives me 11 p.m. or 23 o'clock in 24-hour clock. So we're going to head into the diagnostic quiz. So for each of these, write down A, B, C or D for me. If we want to write m multiplied by 7 using algebra, how would we do it? Pause the video if you need any extra time. Okay, so m multiplied by 7 just means 7 times m, and in algebra we don't need the multiply in there, we can just write that as 7m, so the correct answer is B. Using that logic, how do you think we would write m multiplied by 4? So that one's 4 times m, which is 4m, so that one would give me D. Question number 3, write this as an algebraic expression, 7 greater than m. Now that just means m plus an extra 7, so I would write that as A, m plus 7. Question number 4, can you write h times 6 without the mathematical operation? So without the x for me. So that would give me 6h, because we would write the 6 before the h. And then final question, can you write 7 divided by t for me in an algebraic way without the division in the middle? So the correct answer for that one was A, it's 7 over t. So that line underneath the 7 means divided by, 7 divided by t, the correct answer was A. So this lesson we're going to recap all that we've learnt about averages so far and put it all together. Now we started by looking at the mean, and we said mean was finding the total of all the data values we're given and then dividing by how many data values there are. If you don't have that in your dark blue book, can you add that now please? You're welcome to pause the video. If you already have that in your dark blue book from a previous lesson, I'll go through an example and then there'll be some questions to do. So I want to find the mean of this list of values. I know I need to find the total first and then divide by the number of values there are. Now the total, 2 plus 4 gives me 6, plus 6 gives me 12, plus 7 gives me 19, plus 11 gives me 30. So that's my total. But to find the mean, the average, I need to divide by the number of numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30 divided by 5 will give me 6. So that's my mean, my average. Over to you in your light blue book or on a mini whiteboard, whatever you have to hand. Please find the mean of this list of numbers for me. Pause the video for 5 minutes or so and have a go at finding the mean of as many of those as you can for me. Okie dokie, I'll show you the answers. So the answers I was looking for were A was 4, B was 3, C was 6, D was 4, E was 2 and F was 5. Next up we looked at mode and range. Now we said that mode was the most common data value. You're welcome to add these to your dark blue notes as we go through in your dark blue book. However, you may already have notes on these already. So the mode is the most common data value. If I look at my list of numbers, I can see that there's 1, 2, 3 2s in there, and that's the most common because there's only 2 3s and all the others there's only one of them. So the mode of that set of numbers is going to be 2. The second part, I'm asked what's the range. The range is the difference between the highest and the lowest numbers. If I look at my list, my biggest number is 12. My smallest number is 2. So the range is 12 take away 2, which gives me 10. Over to you in your light blue book. Please pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes and have a go at finding the mode of all of these numbers, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then the range of all of these. Pause the video and complete those questions now, please. Splendid, and here are the answers. These were the answers for the mode and these were the answers for the range. Okie dokie, we've got one more average to look at and that is the median. Now the median we said was the middle piece of data when all the data is in order. So we can just start by ordering our data. Let's have a look at 2 examples. Here's the first one. Putting it in order, 4 is the smallest, then I've got 6, then I've got 7, then I've got 12, then I've got 13. Now I'm looking for the middle piece of data, so let's try and find it. There's the first piece on each end. Counting inwards, there's the second one. So the middle one is going to be 7, and that's my median. The next one's a little bit trickier because I've got 6 numbers instead of 5, but we start in the same way. We're going to do them in order. 4, 6, 7, 8, 12, and 13. We're going to count inwards. Let's start at the ends. 13 and 4, 6 and 12, 7 and 8. So we know our middle number must lie somewhere between 7 and 8. To find that midpoint, we said we needed to add together those 2 numbers, 7 plus 8, which gives me 15, and then divide that by 2, which will give me 7.5. Over to you in your light blue book. Please pause the video for 10 minutes or so and find me the median of these numbers. Pause the video and complete that now, please. Splendid, and these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Okie dokie, so in summary, we've said we found the mean, which is finding the total of all the values, then dividing by the number of data values there are. The mode was the most common. The median was the middle piece of data when they were all in order. and the range was the highest, take away the lowest. Let's put those together. Here's my example. You're welcome to complete this in your dark blue book if you wish, with the title Averages. I'll go through an example, then there'll be one for you to do. So I'm going to start with the mean. The mean, I need to add them all together and then divide by the number of data values. So 1 plus 5 gives me 6. 6 plus 5 gives me 11. 11 plus 7 will give me 18, and 18 plus 12 will give me 30. That's the addition of all those numbers. I then divide by the number of numbers, which is 5. So my mean is 6. For my median, I want my middle piece of data. So starting at each end, handily they're already in order. I start at 1 and 12, count inwards, 5 and 7, and then my middle piece of data is 5. So that's my median. My mode was my most common piece of data, and that's going to be 5 because there's 2 5s and there's only one of all the other numbers. And my range was my highest, take away my lowest, which is 12 take away 1, which gives me 11. Over to you, Chrissy. In your dark blue book, please pause the video for 5 minutes and have a go at these questions for me. Can you find the median, mode and range? And then I'll go through the answers with you. Rightio, to find the mean, I need to add them up and divide by my number of data points. 0 plus 4 gives me 4, plus 4 gives me 8, plus 6 will give me 14, then that will give me 25 altogether. Dividing by the number of data points, divide by 5, my mean is 5. Let's look for the median. The median is the middle piece of data, so counting from the outside, there's the first one, there's the second one, my middle piece of data is 4. Let's talk about my mode. My mode is my most common piece of data. Well, there are 2 4s and only one of all the other numbers, so my mode is 4. And my range is my highest, take away my lowest, which is 11 take away 0, which is 11. Over to you. In your light blue book, please pause the video for 5 minutes or so and have a go at as many of these as you can. 5 to 10 minutes, work out the mean, median, mode and range for each of these sets of numbers. I don't expect you to finish them all, but have a go at as many as you can. And here are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. The numbers in brackets are the mean, median, mode and range that I was looking for. For example, the mean of the second set of data would be 5, the median was 4, and the increase, same. Increase is just telling you whether it's going up from the previous answer or whether it's the same. And finally, a quick video to remind us how to work out each of our averages.
Diddle, the median's the middle, you add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Yeah. Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle, you add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Yeah. Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle, you add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. Yeah. Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle.
So the median's the one that you find from the middle. Mean you add them together and divide by the number.
You see the most, and the
Mode's most common, range biggest, take away smallest.
Hey diddle diddle.
Okay.